Hey, what's up guys? It's Andy and today I'm going to be building a bike rack out of 2x4s and Conduit. So welcome to my workshop where I've been slowly getting things organized. I still have a little bit of work to do to get things actually totally organized, but the next big thing I want to do is build a bike rack, which I'm going to build over in this corner for my bikes, which includes my BMX bike, my Specialized P3 dirt jumper, and my Diamondback Release 2 all mountain bike. And I also have my mini bike. I don't think I'm going to include this in the rack itself, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. But the big thing I want to do is take this corner and make a bike rack, get the bikes as much out of the way as possible, make it as compact as possible. And what I'm going to make it out of is these 2x4s right here. I got a couple of 2x4s and then I got a bunch of conduit that's left over from when my dad and I did the brickwork on the outside of the shed here. So I'm going to use the 2x4s for the frame of this thing, and then I'm going to use the conduit for where the actual tire fits into the bike rack. And I came up with a pretty simple design in my head, so hopefully it works out. It'll be pretty quick to make. So let's get started. So now that I got all my bikes lined up the way I want them, like I said, I want this to take up as little room as possible. So I definitely ride my trail bike the most, so that's going to be on the end. I rarely ever ride my BMX bike. Hopefully that changes when I get my new frame. But I have been riding my dirt jumper quite a bit too, so that's facing outwards as well. So I think this will be a pretty good setup, and it'll be kind of out of the way. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually start measuring some things. So that's kind of why I want to set this up. I need to get the measurement for the axles and also the width as well. So I'm going to make the rack go all the way up against the wall so that it stays in the right position all the time. And then I'm also going to make it so that it fits these specific tires as well. So if my calculations are correct, I'm going to need 6 pieces of conduit that are 27.5 inches. I'm going to try using this tubing cutter. We'll see how that goes. So now I got all 6 of my, dowels cut out of the conduit. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut the 2 2x4s I need for the width that'll connect these dowels together. So now that I got these cut, the next thing I need to do is figure out where I need to drill the holes for the dowels. So I'm going to actually just measure it based on where the bikes are and then plot it out on these pieces of wood. So now I need to drill the holes in here, and I've been kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to actually get the depth correct because I don't have a drill press. So what I have is, a wood drill bit that's got the point on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a brick underneath each hole that I drill. That way the point stops at the brick, and it might poke through the other side a little bit, but it's going to give me enough of a lip that's going to help hold those pieces of conduit in there. So hopefully that works. Well, now that I got my holes, we'll see if the conduit fits in there and see how it fits together. So now my theory is that I have this set up at the same angle where I drew the line on the table initially. So what I think I can do now is utilize this, bring in the 2x4 that I'm going to use as a vertical, and this should be the right height for that, and then I can go from there. So I'm not quite done yet with the rack, but what I want to do is mock it up because it's ready to stand on its own. I want to get it in here and make sure all my measurements are correct, and then I can add the last couple pieces and finish it up. I'd say that turned out pretty good. It's pretty much the way I wanted it. Well, the tires fit good in there and everything. So I think the one thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to notch out that spot. So I'm gonna mark that and cut that out just a little bit. And then I'm gonna add a 2x4 along the bottom, along the back, and then should be pretty much done then. So this thing is basically done. It turned out pretty much the way I was expecting. I'm just gonna take it one step further and I'm gonna give it a finish by burning it with my propane torch. Well, there you have it. There's my bike rack. It only took me a couple hours to build, and honestly the most time-consuming part was burning it, which I didn't really have to do. It's just kind of a fun way of giving it a unique look, so I like to do that. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I look forward to the next one.